Okay, so here's a recap on how to do the bay parking. There's a couple of different ways to do it, but the best method really is using the white lines as a guide, counting the white lines and using a reference point lined up on the door. So you can use this method for any car. The reference point might change slightly depending on the car that you're in your seating position. So on the driving test, if they ask you to do one of the bay park maneuvers, they'll either ask you to reverse into a bay or pull in forwards. You choose the space, so make sure you pick an easy space. Don't pick one with like two big lorries or vans or something that's next to you. Make sure that you pick an easy one, ideally one where there's no vehicles left or right of you. So I'm going to pull out now and do reversing to the left. So remember, prepare, observe and move. What are we looking out for here? People with trolleys trying to find their cars, little children running around, people reversing out. Take your time in the car park, do not rush, keep it nice and slow. So I'm peeping and creeping out of here because I can't see left or right because of these parked vehicles, so I'm taking extra care here. Now I can see this clear, I'm going to come out, but still nice and slow. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to reverse into a space on the left here next to this white vehicle. So I'm going to count the white lines. So this is the space here. The space on the left is one we're going to use now. So the first line of the space is this one. That's between the silver car and the grey car. So that's line 1. Line 2 is on this side of the silver car, and line 3 is our reference line between the black car and the silver one. I'm now lining this reference line up in a reference point that I've already established. Now for me, in this car, it's lined up by the end of the door pull. In another car, it could be the handle or the mirror or the speaker, but it's just finding one that works for you. Now I'm going to prepare, observe and move. So I'm checking around everywhere. I have reverse gear, I have my biting point, and now I'm going to steer nice and quickly. So it's slow car and quick steering. Taking effective observation all around, I tend to keep looking over my left shoulder and my right shoulder and checking the mirrors while I'm doing so. If you're reversing next to a car, then make sure you keep an extra eye out to make sure you're not getting too close or that people aren't opening their doors or squeezing through. So the car's nice and slow, and I call this manoeuvre speed of car, which is literally like ½ mile an hour. When the car is straight and at 12 o'clock, we straighten the wheel up, and then we're coming back in a straight line, making sure that we're not getting too close to any vehicles behind us. If there's a vehicle next to you, you can line yourself up with that, or you can also use the reference point that we have for positioning at a T-junction, i.e. the long white line that joins all the spaces up, lined up in your mirror position as you would at a T-junction. And that's the bay park.